I saw this paper the other day that just struck me, and I don't know if it's right. It was just it was about climate, and as we know, the world's temperature has fluctuated wildly over the history of the planet. The last time it moved 6 degrees Celsius in a span of time began in 22,000 BC. That is to say that it took from 22,000 BC to today, roughly 24,000 years, for the planet to warm 6 degrees Celsius. And scientists could pretty much predict this through carbon and other methodologies that they use. If the models are to be believed, and I understand this is quite a contentious issue these days, but we could see a 6 degrees Celsius movement in the next 60 years. What happened in 24,000 years is, based on some of the science at least, indicating we'll see that in the next 6 decades. So that causes me to think about this, and the reason I think that it gets harder to plan for the future. We may believe, and I believe, that gas is going to be a fundamental part of our future. But I don't think the fact that we've put climate on the shelf, and arguably should be on the shelf given the imperatives of saving the country and leading economically and from a security standpoint with AI, and I do believe Secretary is right that we lead best when we're strongest. But we're going to have to address that issue. And we can't ignore it, because if you were just to transport your brain 10 years into the future, if any of these models are remotely accurate, what we're seeing is an asymmetrical shape to the temperature curve that causes us to believe that human impacts from climate are going to be far more severe 10 years from now than the travel we saw in the past 10 years, and so on and so forth. And so when we're thinking about powering AI in the future, I think carbon is going to return as one of the imperatives. And that's why I think fundamentally this is a nation that has to explore all opportunities: SMRs, large reactors from nuclear, carbon sequestration, the use of renewables, and better storage so we address reliability. But that to me is a reality more than the idea that we're going to have this unfettered use of fossil fuels for the next 20 or 30 years. It doesn't seem likely to me.